Hi guys, Gaming and Sport A47 here with another Yakuza video. I just want to talk about why I think these games are so intriguing and why a lot of people have got into them. So starting off, as you can see here, there's lots to do. I'm playing golf here and there's numerous other activities you can do. I'm going to call them activities because they're not side stories. There's just extra things you can do within the series. So there's golf, there's bowling, there's baseball, there is darts, pool, disco, karaoke, fishing, bowling, and much more. I can't think of much more off the top of my head right now, but honestly, there's arena fighting as well. Arcades, there's whatever games are in the arcades. So they have old Sega games you can play, like Outrun, Space Harrier. Those are really old games, and then you can play games like Virtua Fighter. Yeah, it's just pretty impressive. And then you've got the side stories, which are fun. The maps are small, but there's plenty to do within them, which I really like. That's what I mentioned in my last video, if you missed that. I was just talking about how I prefer these games with smaller maps, but with lots to do in, than even though the games with big maps, I'm not going to name names, but you can have an idea in your head of which ones. They're big maps, they have got quite a lot to do, but you still have to travel ages to get to places. I hate that. And fast travel. But anyway, I go into that in that video. But in this, there's so much to do, and you don't have to travel very far to get to the places. And also, even if you do want to get to places even quicker, there is the taxi system, which is really good, and they've actually improved the taxi system in the latest games. It's really easy to get to places quickly now. There's no excuse to say that you're spending time traversing a lot. If you don't want to, you don't have to now. But even before, there was taxis, pretty much everywhere on the map. You didn't have to move that far to get to them, and obviously they're cheap as well. But yeah, and then obviously the biggest selling points of the games are the characters and the story. Yes, the combat is pretty good as well. It's not great, but it's fine. It's got a good upgrade system, and you can get pretty good at it with like different combos and dodging at the right time and blocking, etc. The heat actions are quite cool. When you build up, basically in a fight, when you build up hits on the enemy, you can do these big attacks, explosive attacks called heat actions. Just for people that don't know about the series much, but I think pretty much everyone that's watching will know about it. But yeah, how does it compare to other games? Why is it intriguing? I just think it's the combination of everything. I think it's, you get a lot of games with a lot of things in, but you might have to travel really far to get to them, or they might just be sort of paddy and forgettable stories, sub-stories. In this, quite a lot of them are just funny, wacky, and then you get the really high effort sub-stories, which are just brilliant. Especially the Cabaret Club from Yakuza 0 with Majima. Running your own club, it could be a game in itself. It's so well implemented. I really loved the Sujimon, your fighting group in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the latest game in the main series, which admittedly the story for the game I don't think was that good, but it was okay. The extra content was brilliant. But yeah, that's what you get with these games. There's always something that's enjoyable in them, which I think is a credit to the developers. I'm just showing a side story here, which was a decent one. I don't show all of it, but yeah, just little bits. Anyway, other games which I think have really good, interesting, fun bits to them, and I get some of the similarities to Yakuza. So I'd say in terms of the ambition of the story, etc., and extra things you can do to upgrade, I get a few vibes of Persona from that. Obviously, Persona is much more detailed with the story, a much longer game. But to be fair, some of the Yakuza games are really long as well, but not anywhere near the length of Persona. Persona's like 3 times longer than them, or at least twice as long as the main Yakuza stories. I think the longest game in the series is like 38 hours or something in Yakuza. I think it's Yakuza 5 is the longest one. But yeah, Persona games are longer than that, especially the last 2. But yeah, they're very good games. I'd recommend them to anyone that's into story games and JRPGs, turn-based JRPGs. I'm also a massive fan of Batman Arkham, and I think the combat in Batman Arkham is like a better version of the Yakuzas, to be honest. There are some strengths I like in Yakuza which are not in Batman. Like, you've got the different combat styles, but to be honest, the combat is just way more satisfying in Batman, and the challenge mode's really good in that as well. You've got obviously the stealth predator, and the combat is it's very good, very addictive games. Hitman, especially Hitman World of Assassination. Okay, there's not many similarities to Yakuza, to be honest, but just the amount of content in the games, especially of World of Assassination. Now they've introduced even more modes like Freelancer. Anyway, I won't get into too much into Hitman, but a series I think is really fun. Lots of experimentation you can do in it, and you don't have to play it stealthily, but obviously it's recommended to play that way. And another series I really enjoy is the there's loads, but I enjoyed the Mass Effect trilogy. Very good story RPG. The gameplay actually isn't that good in any of the games, in my opinion, for Mass Effect, but the story and the characters and stuff, and the world building, the music, yeah, it's brilliant. And I think it's got some similarities to Yakuza in the sense that the gameplay isn't necessarily the main factor of the intrigue of the game. It's more sort of the vibes you get from the game, the story, and also the extra things you can do. The combat is fine, but it's nothing particularly special. But yeah, I just thought I'd ramble on about a few of these things, and I'm about to come to a close of the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just, I don't know whether I've mentioned things that you also agree with, but yeah, I just think these are the main reasons why people keep coming back to this impressive series. Anyway, thanks. Bye guys.